My clients have been waiting a long time to see justice, and we feel like we're very close right now. And it's very disappointing to see Ghislaine Maxwell want to put that off. I don't think the judge is going to buy it. I think the judge is going to say that the sentencing will happen tomorrow because we need to move this forward.
What does it do to the victims, Lisa, who hear yet of another delay? It marches them to the top of the hill, and then they must feel as if they're going to be marched down again. That must be very just undermining for them.
You're right, and it is exhausting and it is dispiriting, but they also know that this is going to happen. And I tell my clients that even if the sentencing gets put off, it will probably be only for a few days, maybe for a week. Ultimately, it's going to happen. I think Ghislaine Maxwell knows she's going to spend the rest of her life in prison. She's going to probably get a very significant sentence. The prosecution is asking for 30 years. She's 61 years old, I think, so she's probably going to spend the rest of her days behind bars.
How would you describe her, Lisa? For people who, may think that she is an innocent caught up in the maelstrom of all of this, that Epstein pulled all the strings, what's your view of the woman?
Well, it's not just my view, it's what the jury said. The jury said that she is responsible for the choices that she made. And those choices were sex trafficking underage girls to Jeffrey Epstein, who's one of the most prolific predators of our time. She personally was involved in sexually abusing some of them, and she made their lives a living hell. And they have to spend the rest of their lives with the fallout of the choices that she made, that they were trafficked to this man, they were sexually abused when they were underage, and it's just been devastating to them.
There's been lots of speculation since the end of the trial that she may enter into some sort of plea bargaining to try and reduce her sentence. Is there much suggestion that she might, perhaps produce some names to try and reduce the amount of time that she spends behind bars, or has she been uncooperative in that respect?
Yes, many people have speculated about that, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of it. I don't think the government wants to make any kind of deal with her. They got their conviction. It was a hard-fought trial. She had outstanding attorneys who made every point they could on her behalf, and the jury rejected all of that and convicted her. And now she's looking at a very significant sentence. So why should the state want to make any kind of a deal with her? I just don't see that happening.
Yeah. But Lisa, what happens to the victims that you are representing now? Can you give us an insight into their lives, how empowered they feel with what's going on, how they're rebuilding, if they are rebuilding their lives?
Well, they are, because we fought for and won very significant financial settlements with Jeffrey Epstein's estate, and I'm pleased that we were able to get that for all 8 of my clients. And they take that money to use for therapy, for medical expenses, to go back to school, to start a new life. So it really makes a big difference for them, and they are moving forward with their lives. But this prosecution of Ghislaine Maxwell has meant a lot to them. It meant that they have been heard, that this matter wasn't just swept under the rug after Jeffrey Epstein took his own life in prison a couple of years ago. And it just means a lot to see accountability against Ghislaine Maxwell.